And when you're ready, Guy, take us away, mate.
Hey, Glenn, Guy Havelt here from One News, mate. I hope you're well. Good to see you. The boys obviously able to get out of their rooms last night for a training. How, I suppose, relieving was that, and what did you do with them?
Yeah, mate, it was really, really good to get out there. Actually, just to go to a new stadium and train under lights was a bit of a novelty for some of us because we're not really used to that. So, look, it was just a bit of a run around, really, just to get a bit of a feel for the environment, feel for the conditions, feel for the climate. I was going to say feel for the wind, but coming from Wellington, it's certainly not the wind here that we have over in Wellington. So it's just getting a bit of an understanding of our environment, training-wise and game-wise, over the next 7 days. So it was a good little run around. The guys were pretty eager to get out there and have a run around and hit some balls, so to speak.
Mate, I just wanted to ask a little bit about you, really, and how you've kind of found being in charge of this team and what you've learned over the last couple of weeks, and anything different to kind of what you'd experienced as a coach previously.
Yeah, look, the main difference is a lot more gets done for you at this level. I guess it makes my job a lot easier. I can just rock up and tell people what to do in the nicest possible way, but there's just a lot more resource available in terms of coaching staff, management. You turn up to grounds, everything's laid out in terms of drinks and the gear's all laid out. Hotels, meals, everything's just done for you. So from that respect, yeah, it's been, I guess, good because domestically it's not like that. You're kind of a jack of all trades doing every little bits and pieces. So that's allowed me, I guess, to sit a little bit more above everything and look at things a bit more strategically, along with Gary back in New Zealand. Just look at selection, look at, I guess, planning for this team and planning for the World Cup and what that looks like for playing roles and opportunities. So, like, I've really enjoyed that and certainly really enjoyed working with Tom Latham. He's a very experienced international cricketer, so to sit side by side with him and talk cricket and tactics and game plans has been pretty cool. It's been a bit of a dream, to be honest, just watching a player that I've idolised on the TV, having that opportunity to work with him. So absolutely loving the experience so far and looking forward to what's going to come in the next couple of weeks in Pakistan.
Love it, mate. Nice. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll go to Mohammed Shafique.
Yes, Glenn, thank you very much. I just want to ask that you spoke about the conditions, Robert Mindy, and in Pakistan. And usually the conditions favor the home side. You have been in Bangladesh, and we saw there that your batter struggled a lot there against the spinners. Do you think that spinners are going to play a crucial role once again? And secondly, would you like to please tell us what is the difference between coaching a T20 side and an ODI side?
Yeah, look, I think in terms of the spinners, I guess if anything to go by from the training facilities yesterday, spin will play a part. I don't believe it will play as big a part as it did in Bangladesh because they were probably extreme conditions. I guess looking at the recent series here against Zimbabwe, or recent as in the last couple of years, played at Rawalpindi, it looked to be 250, in between 250, 280 being a good score. So that suggests it's a good batting wicket. So look, I think we'll gather as much information as we can, training over the next couple of days. But until we get out there and face that first ball and I guess the players get an opportunity to see what the pitch does themselves, we probably won't know exactly how the surface will play. And that's the same anywhere around the world. And secondly, just in terms of preparation, you're right, we've had good prep in terms of the white ball game in Bangladesh. And the only change here really in ODI cricket is just doing those things for a little bit longer. In some ways, the 2020 game in Bangladesh were very good prep because it almost was a little bit like a one-day game in terms of the way you had to play. A lot more singles taken as opposed to boundaries, a lot more accumulation. So we're really well prepared for that in that respect.
Thank
you. Glenn, this is Shahid Hashmi from Agence France Presse. Welcome to Pakistan.
Thank you.
Glenn, I want to ask you about the mindset of the players when they assembled for the departure to Pakistan, a country where they had not traveled before, a bit scary, and the mindset after 48 hours being in Pakistan?
So I missed some of that, but I think I got the first part of it. Look, the players are really excited to be here. It's been a long time coming, so they're all grateful to have this opportunity, both through the Pakistan Cricket Board and the New Zealand Cricket Board, to make this opportunity happen. And everyone's really excited to be here, and certainly very excited for Friday to get that first ODI underway and have a crack at this very good Pakistan team.
And do you think the stringent security, the overdone security will play a part on the minds of the players when they take the field?
No, look, we're used to it in some ways from coming from Bangladesh. We had convoys over there and we had security around, so it's very similar to that. So the players have had 2 weeks of that in Bangladesh, and it's just an extension of what we had over there.
Thank you.
Glenn, good morning. This is Khalid from Dawar, Karachi. Glenn, I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, what will you bring into the series from the Bangladesh experience? Okay, of course, the conditions are different. The pitches there were more on the spin side. Here you'll have something for the fast bowler as well, and batsmen will have much better chance of scoring big runs. The second part of my question is, now it's a big shame that the ODI series is not going to be the part of the World Cup qualification. It's a bilateral series. So what's your take on these 2 questions?
Yeah, again, it cut out a little bit, but I think I got the most of it. Look, I think in terms of the surfaces, you're right. I believe just from the information we've had and just from the brief training yesterday, that the fast bowlers will probably play a bit more of a role, certainly than what they did in Bangladesh. And we've got, I guess, an attack to match that, given the selections that were done back in home. And can you just repeat the second part of the question, because it did cut out quite a bit?
Yeah, Glenn, my second question is, now this series is not going to, the ODI series is not going to be part of the World Cup qualification. Now it's a bilateral series. Do you think there will be, level of intensity won't be as much as we would have hoped for?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think the intensity will still be there. We're still 2 international cricket teams who wanting to win. Like the Pakistan team haven't had us here for 18 years, so that they'll want to win. They're playing at home, and likewise we've come here to compete with them, and we've come here to put our best foot forward. So look, it's not, as you say, it's not an ICC qualifying tournament, but that's certainly not going to dampen the intensity. I think international cricketers, they want to win games of cricket for their country. So I think the passion, the intensity, the commitment, all those things will be evident on Friday.
Thank you, Khalid. Pockers, if we could just quickly, before we go to Mohish Shah, could you just slightly move to your right and back a little bit? Yeah, and just back a little. Yeah, that's great, mate. Mohish Shah, over to you, mate.
This is Mohish Shah from the news here in Islamabad. Welcome to you in Islamabad. My question is regarding your performance, New Zealand's performance in recent times. You have almost won the World Cup, no doubt about that. I think it was very close. I'm talking about 50 over the side. Then you went on to win the Test Championship, World Test Championship. And now how you feel, how you rate New Zealand team for the T20 World Cup? Do you think your team is as prepared as they were for the Test Championship as they are now for the T20 World Cup? Thank you.
Yeah, New Zealand, they've got a very settled squad and a very well-performed squad in the 2020s arena. Certainly been playing very well at home the last couple of years. So the big test, not just for New Zealand team, but any team over in the UAE, will be the adjustment to what the conditions are like, and I guess especially after a full IPL or second half of the IPL played over there. So look, I think there's a number of teams that are going to be in for it. I can see six to eight teams competing for that World Cup, which is a great thing for world cricket, that there's so many teams that are being spoken about in terms of that tournament. So look, New Zealand have been performing very well over the last couple of years, and they'll go into that tournament like they have the other ones with a lot of confidence to put their best foot forward.
Thank you, Mohi. If we go to Tia from News Hub now.
I just want to know, coming off the back of playing Bangladesh, what differences have you seen going into a different test in Pakistan?
So can you repeat that again? I'm just breaking up a touch.
That's all good. Coming off playing Bangladesh, what differences are you getting the team to make going into this next test?
Yeah, the main differences are just doing things for longer. So that's just bowling our best ball for longer, and it's batting for longer. They're pretty simple things. We feel we had a really good, I guess, introduction in Bangladesh to this one day series, just because it was almost like a mini ODI given the conditions. So we feel pretty prepared in that regard, and not looking to make too many changes. It's just doing those things for a little bit longer. So instead of having an innings of 20 balls, we're wanting a batsman to have an innings of 100 plus balls, instead of a bowler bowling 4 overs of a good line and length. We're wanting to do that for 6 to 8 overs in a spell. So just doing things for longer, and likewise with the fielding, it's going to be over 3 hours in the field compared to the hour and 20. So being tuned in mentally for the 3 hours every ball will be something we'll be talking about as a unit when we step over the field.
And do you think the team, how have they been tracking? Are they up for it?
Yeah, very much so. Like Bangladesh, we walked away from that series with a lot of confidence. I know we went down 3-2, but a lot of people were expecting us to lose every single game. So with an inexperienced side, to come away with 2 wins has given them a huge amount of confidence. And going into this series, that confidence is still there. And as I said before, the guys are excited to be in Pakistan playing international cricket and up against a very good Pakistan side in their home conditions. And that challenge alone is, presents a pretty exciting opportunity for this group of cricketers.
Cool, thank you.
G'day Glenn, Lachlan here from News Talk ZB. Trust you've settled in well. Just first off, being in the Black Caps, that's quite a special moment for yourself as it is, but being in Pakistan and what's a groundbreaking tour, that must add quite a bit of quite a fun little element to it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I think fun's a good word actually. It's it's a unique place to travel, I guess, anywhere around the world at the moment. So to be here and to be here as part of the New Zealand team is pretty humbling. And I guess myself, like the rest of the team, we are, privileged that we're here and getting an opportunity to play cricket in this day and age. So all goes well for Friday night and having a crack at Pakistan.
Awesome. One guy I wanted to touch on, no doubt you've been asked about him a fair bit, is Finn Allen, who is sort of up and down a couple of matches, but finished off pretty well in that final T20. I guess, what have you made of his sort of progression on this tour so far? Yeah,
really good. And he's shown the benefit of some time in the IPL, even though he didn't play any games. He had a couple of months in their environment with some world-class players in Kohli and De Villiers. So he's come back from that experience a lot better player in terms of, I guess, his mentality around how he prepares, and also his mentality around how he goes about building an innings and white ball cricket. So, yeah, looking forward to see what he can bring here in these wickets. If they do have a bit more pace and bounce, then that will suit his natural game, which he's done so well in New Zealand. So hopefully he can carry on that form that he showed in the 2020s the other night.
Showed a fair bit of confidence. I think it was in that fourth one with a few of those sort of back swings. You happy to see that from a young buck like him?
Yeah, look, it's within his game plan, and it's I guess it's you live by the sword, you die by the sword. He plays it once and gets 6, and then 4 or 5 balls later he plays it and gets out. So it's managing the risk versus reward, which in the moment he has to decide. Generally he plays it very well, so it's weighing up all the risks and then I guess weighing up the reward, and then him making an instant decision whether it's in his game plan or not. And that's a challenge for all batsmen, is to keep that clear head and just watch the ball and let their reactions take over.
Thanks, Glenn. All from me. Cheers.
Thanks, Lachlan. If we have News Watch with Safe. Are you there, News Watch? News Watch. Not there. We'll move on to Muzamil Asif.
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. I just want to ask that as an interim coach and having a second strength side, what the plan has been given to you? Like you don't have your main players in this side who will most probably participate in the T20 World Cup. So firstly, what's the target given to you about these players? And secondly, don't you think that players, be it from New Zealand, Australia, or any other country who plays cricket, have prioritized league cricket more than national duty?
Yeah, look, the great thing about this tour is that it's an opportunity for these players and for New Zealand cricket to continue building depth. And that's been a huge influence in the success over the team over the last 3 or 4 years. We do have a lot of experienced cricketers in this group that have played, albeit maybe other formats for New Zealand. But having some younger, inexperienced guys in the team who haven't played much international cricket has been invaluable for them and the learning opportunities they're getting, both from a playing perspective, but also from leaning on some of those senior figures that have been around. So, that's going to prove, dividends in the future for New Zealand cricket and for this group that hopefully in time to come will play a lot of international cricket. And I think in terms of the league cricket, it's the way of the world now. There's leagues all over the world playing. So I guess that's something for the players to answer individually as to what they want to do, where their priorities lie, whether it's international cricket or whether it's playing leagues, and that's for them to answer, I guess.
I might jump in with one more if that's all right, JB.
Yeah, cheers, Guy. Go ahead, mate.
Glenn, just going back to you coaching and that sort of thing and getting a taste of this, I take it this is something that you ultimately want to do on the regular as coach an international cricket team?
Yeah, absolutely, Guy. Like I think before the opportunity came up, it hadn't been in my mindset whatsoever. Very enjoying doing my role with Wellington, and I'll certainly when I go back, I'll enjoy doing that too. But having a bit of a small taste of it here has made me want more of it. It's a little bit like an adrenaline fix. You do something, you love it, and you feel you're doing a really good job at it, then you kind of just want more of it. So having that taste has certainly, I guess, whetted my appetite for the future.